to make sure that.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on today's session. How long has it been? 30 days. Welcome again to this session of TTT, Travel and Tourism Transform. And today we have here Tolulope Balogun, who is a marketing strategist with over 8 years of experience. She also has a travel luxury company called Travel Lotus. So you can see that she has walked your shoes and can, give you the necessary steps to increasing your business and positioning your business for growth. Hi, everyone. So welcome with me, Tolulope. Hi, Tolulope. Welcome.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we can hear you. We're excited to have you. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
I think this session is one that has been a long time coming and it's really, really needed for the times that we're here in. But
Oh,
before we dive in, can you tell us a bit about your experience, a little more about you?
okay. So, I have a travel agency called Travelers Luxury Tours Limited. It's in Nigeria. And for 8 years, I plan tours, flights, and travel internationally and locally. It started as like a side hustle while I was working, and suddenly it grew into something much more bigger. I realized that travel was something that I really loved and that I was passionate about. And over the years, while working with clients, with businesses, it was also something that I was able to explore in terms of my knowledge, my capability through building a course, through working with different sects of people, putting conferences together, webinars. So I was able, or I am able to explore the full 360 extent of travel to see that, the limitations, there are no limitations, really. I think one of the biggest shifts in the industry was during COVID 19, and now we are seeing a constant boom in the travel sphere, in how travelers are so joyous to get back into the travel space to explore more and to work with travel agents. So it's important as travel agents to keep up with the industry, to explore more ways in which you can make profits. So hence the topic of today. So thank you for having me, Esther, and I look forward to diving into the session.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm sure that the community has really gleaned a lot from you just introducing yourself. I mean, we can go into your session right away. That's
Okay,
okay.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So let me grab my slides. Okay, so I have a few questions if anybody is going to be nice enough to, put their answers in the comments or
Okay.
anything. Is my slide moving? Because I think I've moved
Not.
to the next slide. Not yet.
Mm.
Uh, just give me a
Okay.
sec
Yes.
to Okay.
Yeah. It
So
has
I was
improved.
it has. Okay. So what is your biggest revenue generator? As travel agents, we will definitely have that particular product or service that is the one that drives the biggest revenue, just for us to identify where we are from and maximize the use of this session, since we are talking about making more profits. So if anybody can put their biggest revenue generator in the chat to let me know. I'll just give it like 30 seconds to a minute to see if anybody is brave enough to share, either via private chat or um or the
Yeah, so I'm
comments.
looking at the
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking at the Facebook community, and
Okay.
somebody said it's the partnership that they're getting from hotels.
Okay.
So
Hotels.
like I think they're like partners with hotels to sell their
Okay.
tours.
Okay. Hotels are great. Do we have any other person brave enough to share with us?
I'm looking at the chat.
Okay.
Okay, somebody
Oh,
says tour sales.
tour sales. Great. Great. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll move. I have another question. So let me move to the next question as well.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing to the two people that shared tours and hotels. Thank you for sharing. So if you are still if you're still wanting to share with us, please can you tell me how big is your team? It's important to understand how big your team is because it lets you put into context um the difference between like profitability, revenue, and sales. Have I moved? Has my screen changed?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Yeah. How big is your team? I see that
Okay.
now.
How big is yeah? How big is your team? It seems to be a bit slow
Yeah.
to
So let me
change.
look in the chat.
Please tell us how big is your team?
Somebody says one.
One.
I think they're like a
A
solo
solo travel
operate.
agent. Fine.
Yes.
Absolutely. I was
Okay.
solo doing everything for over 5 years. As I grew from side hustle to growing my business. So I've definitely been in that shoes where you're, taking up multiple skills and doing multiple things in your business, as well as trying to build structure and trying to build consistency.
Okay.
So
Another person says seven, but they're
7,
like
wow.
the only person that's full time. The others are like part time.
That's great. At least you have, multiple hands to deal with. And in terms of like, how a team grows, the capability, and also you have to grow skills in terms of like delegation. And that also, having that big of a team also means that, what profitability means for you is going to be different from the person that shared that they have a team of one. So let me go to my next slide. And the next slide is, diving into how to make more profits, which is the topic of this presentation. So the first ask is, you need to get clear on your goal. You need to understand your current status. Are you running at a profit or are you running at a loss? The differences between your profitability or your loss is going to be really, really understanding your numbers. What numbers did you turn over last year? What numbers did you turn over last month? What numbers are you supposed to turn over? What is your overhead expenses in terms of like your internet, your costs to probably work with other suppliers, and what do you at the end of the table take home? So you need to factor all those things in. You also need to understand your finances. Where is your money going into? I think a very humble practice for any business owner or anybody that is in the travel space trying to grow something is to really know your bank statements. Have spend maybe 30 minutes every month just reviewing where your money goes to and what you spent your money on to see if it aligns with where you want to either grow your business or you want to, maybe expand, or is it just going are you not turning a loss? When you understand your numbers, when you understand what your biggest revenue generator is, you know that you are able to say, okay, I sell tours. Tours are the main thing that people come to me for. business. So this is the amount of money that I need to make every month. So you break it down into the number of tours, or is it the number of hotel bookings that you need to sell. Let's go to the next slide. So in terms of products, we've already shared. Someone said, their products are um um tours. Another person said their products are hotels. So for the person that shared on their products being hotel, and the person that shared on their um products being um tours, both hotel and the tours, those are like your hero products. Those are the products that that on a month on month basis or on week basis, these ones are the ones that people come to me for. So you need to understand, okay, are they the most are they the most sold products? How much do they turn? Even if um tours are your most inquired product, it may be that it is not the one that brings in the most revenue. It may be that there's something else that people are asking you for, that you only sell once in a while, or as we like to call it in travel, according to the seasons. There's peak period, there's low season, and it's important to keep a tab on the products that you sell, on the seasonality as well of those particular products, to understand if at a time in probably the year this particular product is not moving, which other one do I need to put in the forefront of things, or how do I need to change the wording, how do I need to change the marketing, how do I need to change the offering of my product to ensure that I'm able to increase sales, I'm able to turn inquiries from the people that are asking me, I'm able to turn it into more profitable leads for me, into more conversions, or into more money for me. And also it's important to ask your your customers, your buyers, ask them questions about what they'd like to see, why they are purchasing from you, and just try to build a very, very good relationship. I think it's very key to highlight the fact that as travel agents, one unique feature that we always have is the relatability, the relationship that you're building with your customers. You see a lot of people that they'll be like, oh, I found it cheaper, but I just like you. I just like the heart that you put into making sure that my trip or my hotel booking is really great. I like the experience. I like the fact that you're able to answer the phone. I like the fact that your staff is able to explain to me, so that angle of relationship with our customers, we need to um focus on it and make sure that it's not something that um it's an added benefit and it continues to improve. What do you want to do better, and how can you position yourself for success? So the next one is like, how do you serve? How do you serve your customers? Can my products be tiered, basic, mid, or luxury? In terms of this, you know, in the travel sphere, we already know that even for flights, there's economy, premium, and first class. For hotels, they are the same. There's standard, there's a medium room, and with all those things, there are different things in which you can get. So just like I talked about, like the relationship building that we have with the different customers that we have and the things that they like us for, you can structure your services like that and be like, okay, the customers that are basic are the ones that, we are only, they can only will put a small margin on the things that they buy, and will only offer maybe just um a review on a particular, or just one simple service for them. I only want to offer something simple. I only want to make one one relationship with them only on WhatsApp or something. Then maybe with your mid customers, because they are paying more, and you're able to also explain this to them, that you like me because I'm able to pay attention, and attention costs money. So you be like, attention to detail. If you want me to be more attentive to you, if you want me to fast track the kind of things that you want, maybe you want a change on a ticket and stuff like that, I need to you I'll it will cost you a little bit more, but you know that you're getting the premium service. And you also understand that, probably the luxurious customers are the ones that, probably in the things that they are already buying, you already know that these people are much more affluent, they want something more. And these are the ones that are probably buying the five-star hotels. They are the ones that are like, no, book me business class. So you, with those kinds of people, you're able to say, sir, for this particular thing, we are able to offer you, um you pay a little bit more based on the tier of membership that we have, but know that wherever you are, within 5 hours, we are able to respond to your service. We are able to fix any kind of issue that we have. It gives you like an added joy as a travel agent to be able to tier your customers that way, because you know that a luxury client, when they come, they are paying for so much, and with that, you've increased your profitability with that one client. And you also know that with this level of premium that this person is paying, definitely they are expecting more level of service, and you have to be on your toes. So make sure that you are delegating as appropriate, and you're also on your toes as much as possible. You need to be um invested in your customers, get curious about them, understand their habits and triggers. Everybody wants to look cool on social media. Everybody
Mm.
wants to feel good about themselves. That's the reason most people travel. So get in the thinking of, okay, these people want to look good, these people want something more than the ordinary. That's why they're even coming to a travel agent in the first place. So let me be that something more to them. Understand what makes them want to travel with you, what you can do to increase the longevity of your customer and their spend with you. That is so very key as well, because one customer that comes to just make a tour or a hotel booking, if they travel, say, from one city to another, definitely if they need to book a hotel again, they will probably call you if the service is great. If they have friends, it's a thing of flex that I notice with my customers, when they are able to say, don't worry, I have a travel agent. I have a travel agent. Like, they don't say, I book it myself. Because in some places, when you say you book your flights or your things yourself, it kind of makes you look cheap. But
Mm.
when you say, I have a travel agent, and my travel agent, they can do it fast, and that word of mouth, you see people come back to you. I think one of the biggest revenue generators or customer generators for me over the years has always been word of mouth. Where your marketing does not get to as a travel agent, word of mouth will get there. Customers that have been with you, there are even some people that they did not even buy with you, but because of the way you were able to attend to them, they be like, oh, I have one very good family member that is really affluent, and when they talked about a travel agent, I was like, definitely is me, is you that they'd call, and that will get you a new customer. So understand, the nuances between these different customers, and how you can make profits from those things. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Please, do we have any questions? Feel free to drop your questions. I want this to be as interactive as possible. You know, so on the next way to increase your profit is collaborations. I think this is so very key, and I did not learn this um quite early enough. I've learned it now anyway, but collaborations are so big and so important for a travel agent. Let me just check to see if my yeah, okay, my screen has changed. So collaborations are so very key for a travel agent. I used to think that, I had to do everything myself. I had to uh I had to make sure that I planned the itinerary, book the flight, make the connection and stuff like that. And as a result of like doing that, I was losing my eye on people that didn't want that. Because there are some people that actually don't want that level of personalization. They just want something, they just want to come to a travel agent and be like, can you get me a cheap deal? That's why people like companies like Skyscanner, Expedia, and all those things. People, it's a natural thing. That's it. That's what I've seen about travel. There's going to be premium travel, definitely, and there's going to just be everyday people like me and the next person out there that wants to travel and wants to have a great time, but wants to make sure that they get the best deals. So they don't want that fluff. And those, to be honest, that's the vast majority of people in the market. So if you are able to find collaborations either through like other travel agencies that are bigger, for example, Travel Stats, they have an affiliate program for travel agents or travel websites where you can have a link to their to the website, and you can send that to people. Once people have it in their browsers, whatever it is that they are buying from that particular through that your unique link, you'd get a commission on it. And that's a very very great way of um of of making more money, of making more profit, of not doing any work but getting value. I used to think that, if I did that with my clients, then because it's not carrying my name, they may not be able to trust it. But now I've learned that in order to stay like competitive in the market, it's important to use such avenues, because those avenues, when you like have a broadcast list, or is it have like an email newsletter and you use it, it's just working for you basically, because you don't have to do anything. The customer sees that, oh, it's a website that I probably book on my own, and you can just leave like a small disclaimer to in your email or anything, just for data protection policy, to say that there might be affiliate links in this particular um newsletter or broadcast that I'm sending you, just so that they are aware. But for that, the more you push it, the more likely you'll be able to get people. And one thing is that it doesn't diminish your trust, it doesn't diminish the value of your brand, because it carries the name of like the collaborator or the agency that you're working with. And it also comes from you, that is a trusted person. So putting that together and putting things into perspective is a way that I feel like a lot of travel agents can benefit from. Another great way to collaborate with is to collaborate with other travel agents. One of the things that one might be able to do, one might be limited in doing as like a small or medium sized travel agency, is the frequency of like tour packages that you can do, or the frequency of like putting trips together, group trips and stuff like that. So um to mitigate that frequency, you can work with other trusted travel agents that have packages or have, getaways during the season that you probably don't, and work with them to say, okay, can i get can I earn a commission? Can I get a particular percentage of this sale? And make sure that my customers, they are coming to you and they are able to get this particular service as well. Definitely there are people that you definitely have, checked. There are companies that you've probably worked with, someone that is there, or you can trust their values and they are in line with what you also offer. So collaboration is very key. Um, think in abundance. Who can I collaborate with? What do I have to give? Sometimes we think that you don't have something. You have a superpower. You're a travel agent. People are coming to you. They are giving you their money, and that's the superpower. So you have something to give. You have something that is unique to you, and also think about what you can do better as a travel agent. When you lead with what you can, when you understand what you can give, then you know what you need, so you can lead your pitches to other collaborators with, okay, this is what I need, I already know, but what do they need? Look at their own market as well and think, what do they need? What can I help them with, as a result of this? Definitely, if you are collaborating with somebody, definitely that means that, okay, if they have an average number of bookings that they need to do, you are helping them to get to it faster, and you too, you're also retaining your customers as well. You're ensuring that the quality of service remains the same all through, and you're building relationships. That's very vital for growing your business. Finally, I want to say one aspect of growing a business and being a travel agent over the years that has really helped me is being able to monetize your skills. Being able to monetize your skills is so very, very important. You have like an abundance of different skills that you are able to get from being a travel agent. Is it, when you start to grow your team, is it delegation? When you start to grow your business, growing your social media presence, when you whether you host live videos or you're hosting webinars, those are skills that you are gradually building. So keep a tab on yourself and say, okay, what do I know how to do? What do I enjoy? Even just managing relationships between your customer is an added skill of, like, knowing who to prioritize, knowing how to plan effectively ahead. There are some industries that, like, planning for like low season, planning for high season, planning for a holiday, during those particular times when they are like public holiday, and how that can affect somebody's trip, making sure that you're keeping on top of news, making sure that the a customer that is not in the same, like, not in the same continent as you, is able to get to their destination, find their car waiting. It's not just technology, it's the skill of a travel agent. It's the skill of you to be able to interpret timetables and say, okay, what time is the person going to land? How long do I think is going to take the person, really, between customs in this particular country? The time that it would take excuse me, the time that it would take someone to travel through customs from probably, a trip, say from, I'm Nigerian, say from Nigeria to Accra, is different from the time it would take someone to travel through customs from, like, maybe Nigeria to South Africa and stuff like that. The reason for this might be very different in terms of, like, capacity of the airports, where the person is journeying to, and the nationality of the person itself. So those things are skills that you are gradually building over the years, and those are things that you can package into, like, ebooks, you can put into like courses, you can talk about on TV, on shows, you can build into like mentorships, you can make into like consultancy and stuff. So the action from this is that you're a bundle of unique talents and gifts. And what one thing I've learned from someone that used to be like my mentor, she said the graveyard is filled with the most knowledgeable people in the world. So don't die with your knowledge. Like, you need to die empty. The reason why you were given this knowledge is because you matter, and you can use it to impact lives. You can use it to make a difference anywhere that you are. So I hope that was quick, and I hope like I it's like the 20 minutes mark, because I didn't want to make sure that I wanted to make sure that I didn't go over the time.
Yeah, you sure did. I have a couple of questions here actually.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, so when we're like advertising the event, a lot of people in the
Yeah,
community knew that this event is um organized to actually give them ways they can unlock more revenue opportunity within their
okay.
travel and tourism business. So somebody is asking that what are some skills I can monetize? I think that you kind of like mentioned that with timing, giving tickets to somebody, or even just being diligent with the work that they do.
Yeah.
But then I think there's like an aftermath to that. So they're saying that where can they monetize these skills? So I think I had a call with someone in Ethiopia yesterday, and they were like, they're a junior tour guide. They have like 3 years of experience. So this question kind of like reminded me of that conversation. And we were saying they were asking how they can improve their business. So one of it was customer relations and learning, taking courses on partnership. So this question is like, how can we really monetize this thing, right? So that's it.
So the first thing is that as a travel agent, you have a community, and you need to understand what your community needs from your customers. Are you building newsletters with them? In one of the slides, I shared how important it is to get curious about your clients, about the people that you work with. You're not just collecting their emails to book them flights, you're also collecting their emails to like build a relationship with them, so you have a community of your own through that avenue. The people that have worked with you, if you have your customers on like WhatsApp, and you have like you constantly talk to them, definitely that's another community. You can use like WhatsApp status to ensure that you're engaging with them, you're sharing the skills that you have, you're sharing the knowledge that you have with those particular people as well. They're already familiar with you. It's always easier to sell to people that you're already familiar with. That's why I started with, your email list and your WhatsApp. Going further, you can start with the platforms that you have on social media. Social media is a great place. Everybody is buying from somebody on social
Right.
media. So, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, whatever platform is working for you, really just showcase those additional skills that you have. And you'd be surprised at how people would relate to those particular things. And whatever the skill that you also have, if you feel like, oh, okay, this is not something that I want to, or this is something that I've tried to sell within my community on social media and stuff like that, where other place can I find other people? You need to look at the people that are probably working in the sphere of where you are working, or of who you want to talk to. For example, say you want to create like an ebook for um people, say for like office secretaries, on how to plan their boss's calendar, or how to plan for their boss going on a trip and stuff like that. And you create an ebook. So the person you want to sell to is like a secretary. So who do you need to align with? So what does a secretary buy? Probably, like secretarial courses and admin courses from somebody. You look for people on social media that already have like this communities built for probably, that sell secretarial courses and stuff like that. And you've seen that people are really engaging, they've built an authority around it. And you can pitch to that person and be like, you may not directly pitch your ebook, but you can pitch like, I can be a value add to your community by coming to your community to talk about this particular thing. And you talk about it, and when you are talking about it, you also share your ebook. So from there, by putting yourself out there into that community, those people are not directly like travel agents or travelers, but you are getting new eyes, new visibility on your business, on your ebook. You are getting probably new customers, and you are also building like a bigger network of people. So think community, think collaboration, and just utilize social media. It's not like people are in one particular, place. Everybody is on social media these days, and wherever it is that, you position yourself, you can find people. There are people that are also like, glued to your website. If you have a website, how are you turning those visitors that are coming to your website? How are you turning them into customers? How are you sharing the different products with them? For example, the ebook example that I shared, if you have the ebook on your website, you'd be surprised if somebody that just happens on your website and sees the ebook and purchases it. Or say you put a profile of yourself on a page on your website, and you're like, about me, and you share the things that about you, and you also share the skills that you have. And okay, I'm open for speakers, for speaking, gigs. I'm open for, writing. If it's writing that you have, or a particular skill that you have, I'm open for this. And you'd be surprised at the people that will happen upon that page and send you a message, or reach out to you to inquire about it, or get it. So the active thing is to work out the skill and keep using the platforms that you have, keep pushing it out, and definitely you get traction from it.
Yeah, thank you so much for explaining that. While you were explaining, something came to my mind, and I think I should just ask. And I
Okay.
think that this may also be something that our community might worry about themselves. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that this skill set they should offer it outside of the travel and tourism space?
No, I don't
And do
think
you not
so.
distract them?
No, I don't think so. I think that like um you already built a relationship with customers that you have. So that's why I started with the community that you have. So I'm I'm not, I think sometimes it can also be like skill specific, but I
Mm,
want to believe that if people already know you for a particular thing, and they also people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So everybody, when they want to start a business or anything, they be like, you need to build your KLT factors: know, like,
okay.
and trust. So if you've already built like a travel agent community, people like you, know you, they like you, and they trust you for them to buy from you. So you can build on that and be like, this is something I offer additionally. And I'll definitely encourage you to share with those particular people, because even if they're not buying, they may know somebody that will be interested, and in their mind it just clicks. It creates like a knowledge of what you already have. They are already familiar with, okay, you have this, oh okay, oh you do this additionally. So they are able to they are not just boxing you as a travel agent, they are also able to add you as somebody that does that particular thing should they need that service. So you can start with your community, you can decide to start afresh, whatever works for you. And sometimes it may depend on the skill that you have.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much. So we're about 40 minutes in. I don't want to keep the session longer. Thank you so much for
Okay,
joining us today, Tolu. How can we
thank you.
contact you? How do we work with you?
Okay, so I've put my email address and my website. The website is www.travellotus.com and my email is nb.freelanceprojects@gmail.com. So you can email me anytime and I'd be able to, respond to you. I work on travel agent consultancy. I work in like the marketing space now. That's one of the ways that I've been able to transfer my skills as someone that was growing a business to working specifically in marketing. So it started from skills that I gained while working on my business to now fully focusing on like marketing skills. So people can reach out to me for consultations for anything travel related or marketing related via my email address, and I'll be quick to respond.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to share your details with the community. And I love how you've just transitioned. You've taken whatever it is that you've learned with you from travel into marketing. I think that's great. Not everyone is able to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Journey Experts. I believe that today's session has been indeed insightful. I've learned a lot too. Have a great week and see you next month.
Thank you. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you for having me. Bye.
Thank you so